All right. Hello, everyone. This is Raul Ramirez. I'm the media director for Session Girls, and we're blessed with the appearance of Tomiko on our. Well, this time we're doing an online interview because Tomiko lives in another state from me. But she and I have known each other for years now. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, you are probably one of the most popular just people in the universe right now. Like you're always busy, right? Or, like you have a lot of things coming up, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, being as old as I am, I'm gonna be 58 in January, and I thought this thing would have dried up a long time ago, like back when I turned 40. But it just keeps on going. Yeah, I got a lot of travel. I get a lot of sessions coming up. This whole week has been flooded with sessions. I've had a double up, which I never do locally. I usually just do one in a day, but I've had no choice. People have been like, couldn't you just squeeze one other one in? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's just been crazy. I don't know what is going on, but my email has just been blowing up lately. And then I'm getting flown to all these places. I'm going to football games. I'll be in Sydney, Australia in January. Someone's flying me there. It's crazy.
Wow, that's so awesome. Yeah, actually, do you want to kind of talk about that? I mean, you might not know all the exact reasons, but yeah, but like in the mainstream, like a lot of people think that after age 40, like a woman becomes invisible, right? Or there's
Yeah,
all
or
these different
you're like
stereotypes.
dead.
Yeah, but I think you've totally like destroyed that. I guess like that, or you kind of proved it to be a myth, right? What are some of your like reasons why? Do you have any kind
I
of
think, well, I
yeah?
think I've always been pretty professional across the board in mainstream modeling and acting, and people book me 8 months in advance and know I'm going to be there. They know I'm not going
Mm,
to flake. So that's one of the key points to keeping it going. And then just take a good care of yourself. I drink a lot of water. I work out. I use good skincare. I go get facials every month. I go get massage. um, you know, hair, I get good hair products. The only thing
mhm.
I don't really spend money is on, I don't go out shopping for clothes or anything unless it's wardrobe that's needed for a shoot or something. But I spend it all entirely on like, what I eat, everything is, this is the product right here. So I think
Mhm.
that's the key. And just not having bad habits, like not doing a bunch of, smoking or doing a bunch of drugs or, all that stuff plays a big part in keeping you youthful.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. 'Cause then you kind of hit on a bunch of different things where it's like, yeah, it's like what you have like your body and like it is like say like it's the sports car and you're not putting in like the cheap products into it, right?
Exactly. In fact,
Yeah.
speaking of cars, my RAV4 doesn't even get
Mhm.
cheap gas. I give it the best gas. Even with the
Sure.
prices the way they are, I give it the better gas. I go to a better gas station. I don't go to it, I don't want to put cheap stuff in my car. Just like my dogs have supplements I give them. I mean,
Wow.
if I can do it for myself, I'm certainly, not going to, do something bad for my puppies. So I give them nutritional snacks like carrots and stuff like that.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, because I remember last time I saw you in Vegas, you even like packed food, like you had all your
Oh
meals
yeah.
prepped. Already.
Yeah, I always have food on me. People joke about it. I have my little cooler I carry. I've got food in there. I carry like healthy protein type snacks. So that if I feel like my blood sugar's dropping or something, because I have to eat usually 5 or 6 times a day. If I don't, I get angry and then I turn into the Incredible Hulk.
Mm, yeah, and yeah, nobody wants to like just like the Incredible Hulk said, you don't want to see me when I'm angry, right? It's like
No, no, I go me angry Hulk smash.
yeah.
Although some guys probably want me to do that to them, but
Oh, totally, totally. Well, that's the thing too. It's like the other thing you kind of mentioned. I mean, beyond being like professional and like showing up on time, it's like you also have like a great personality, right? Like you're already like you. It's just easy like to talk to you, and you're ready. You easily laugh and make jokes. So I think that's another reason why people like you so much.
Well, growing up in high school, I was such a nerd. I mean, I was so introverted and couldn't look people in the eye. And um, when I went away to college, I really had to work on my personality, I guess. Just try not to be so shy, and I think actually being in the business that I am, it really helped me come out of my shell. And that's one probably the major reason I can talk to anybody, you know, perfect strangers, first time clients, make them feel comfortable. I mean, it's something I worked on because I didn't think that I have any kind of looks to help me back in high school. So I got to work on something to get their attention, and so
Yeah.
that was the big one. Like, I got to work on my personality.
Wow. Wow, so actually that does kind of remind me like a little bit about like well, I feel the same way about going to university because especially in the upper division classes for your degree, a lot of those classes you actually like sat around a table with your professor and like they're
Uh-huh.
always asking you like, what do you think about this? What do you think about so it's like, oh, but you can't like just sit in the back of a large room and be silent. It's like you actually are forced to talk, right? Was that kind of a similar thing with you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You just couldn't because they call on you and you got to be able, and they have you do projects because I had to do tons of projects that you have to present to the class because I was studying to be a teacher. So everything was about a project that you would teach the students and this and that, because you're learning every different subject matter because elementary education was my major, and so you're learning it all across the board, and you have to have all these different presentations. So you're constantly having to be up in front of people,
Yeah,
and
so that speaking. Mhm, yeah. So yeah, we're kind of getting into your origin story here. I think people like they know you now, and they don't know like how you got here, right, into the session world, and so yeah, actually go ahead and continue. Like so, then after college, then you actually went into teaching. Then is
Yeah,
that
I
right?
went into teaching. Yeah, and I actually, of all things, it's so funny. They needed a PE teacher, so that's like
Wow.
perfect for me, And so I taught kindergarten and second graders. And then when I moved out of Nevada, moved to California, they were going to make me not only just take. Well, I understand like California history, this and that. They're going to make me take those classes to get my certification, but they also wanted me to take like almost go back to school for everything, which I already had like transcripts. I showed them. I have the same exact classes that I took in Nevada, but they wouldn't honor it in California. They just wanted my money. So then I subbed K through 12, every subject here, just everything, because I figured if I have to go back to school, I might as well focus on secondary education because why spend money on the same exact classes that I already paid for? So I just wanted to see maybe I have a certain age group, maybe, high school or whatever, and then I realized as a substitute in California that I absolutely hated it, hated teaching.
Mm,
So I was dating a person that thought I should get into modeling. And he goes, I can't believe you haven't modeled. And I was in my young 30s, like I would say 31 ish, somewhere in there. And he's like, yeah, you should be a model. And I go, well, number one, I didn't realize models come in all shapes and sizes. I thought because I'm short, I'm only about 5'4". I figured, tall. You think of fashion models, when you think modeling, and I ended up getting an agent in San Francisco who also sent me out for acting work and for commercials. And so I took commercial acting classes to learn how to audition for those. And then I really liked acting. I started taking that, and that kind of went side by side with the modeling. And then I had somebody actually contact me in San Jose who liked my physique because I was really fit looking, and he wanted to teach me about wrestling. And so it was like a wrestling site, competitive female wrestling. So teaching me some moves and this and that. And eventually I moved over to, I started submitting for things in LA for acting, and I was getting auditions. So I knew I had to move to LA. That's what I was told, be where the action is. So when I moved to LA, that's when everything kind of like took off. as far as wrestling goes, I was approached by someone to train me to do pro wrestling type stuff, like backyard pro wrestling. I never went to any shows from there, but there was a group of us that were learning, and then a bunch of wrestling producers got a hold of me because they saw me on the one that I did in San Jose, and then the one really it was Scissor Vixens that told me about sessions. I had no idea, and they actually put me on their site available for sessions, and that's how I got my first client. And then that
Wow.
client told me, you got to go to WB 270, the old school one, right? And this is before
Mhm.
Session Girls was around. And then when Session Girls came around, I'm like, oh, this looks like a cool site. And so I joined that one. And that's kind of how it all started. It kind of, once I was on the WB 270, I started doing sessions, traveling with sessions. And then Session Girls, it just launched me, you know.
Mm.
Plus, it's such a user friendly site, being able to update your own things, put pictures up, put your travel notices up. Whereas WB 270, you had to send an email with your travel pictures to upload that sometimes never got uploaded,
Mm.
or whatever you had to write. So I like that you can be self-sufficient and write your own information on Session Girls. But that's how I really got started. I had no idea. And then, talking about 20 years later, pretty much, yeah, over 20 years later, I'm still doing sessions. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, actually, then it sounds like well, it sounds like you've always been fit though. Like, when did you kind of start working out, or was there a special workout that kind of got you into or good?
Well,
Let me know how long it's been.
well, I was always active as a kid, but
Mm.
I had a bicycle I rode around in. But it's funny because I used to do the Jane Fonda videos at home as in high
Mhm.
school,
Yeah, yeah.
and the Richard Simmons stuff. So I'm really dating myself now for the '80s. And then when I moved to San Diego for a short time after being in Reno. Before I moved to doing the whole acting thing. And that was in my 20s. And I was at a Gold's Gym, and I was just doing the aerobics class. And this guy approached me that was a trainer, and he goes, "My gosh, you got the perfect body for bodybuilding because you're symmetrical, this and that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want to be big, like a muscular man or whatever." And he's like, "Well, women don't have that capacity to do that unless you have a certain thing, drugs or whatever, to help you kind of get to that level." He goes, "Why don't you just let me train you for a month for free? And if you don't like it, you can always just go back to just doing your aerobic classes." And I ended up really liking it. I liked feeling strong, and I liked the shape. And then I did my first competition back then. So it's funny. I did a bodybuilding competition, and I did pretty well. I took second place, and I only been working out for 6 months. It's
Wow.
crazy. And then I did one more, I think in the summertime, and I had to be like around 22, 21, something like that. And then there was time when I was moving around a lot where I was a gap where I wasn't working out all that much, but then I got right back into it when I was in LA. I joined a boot camp that was out on the sand with a Marine that taught it. It was hardcore, like obstacle courses, like a Marine style thing where you're crawling underneath the net and doing the A-frame things and dragging like sandbags and doing formation running on the beach. It was fun, and I've always liked challenging myself, pushing myself to do harder workouts. So it was like right up my alley. That's kind of what really got me into fitness there. It was like a short time in my early 20s, and then later on, I would say like early 30s, really getting into it. Now I'm like really into it.
Cool. Are you still doing some obstacle courses, or is there any kind of cool workout you're doing?
Because my trainer is trying to train. He wants me to do a competition in March, but I'm like, I don't know, with the meal stuff. That's the hard part. The workout is easy for me, but it's eating 6 times a day and trying to juggle that with work. But uh, I don't know. I don't do the obstacle courses as much as I like to. I used to do a lot of the 5K stuff because they had that, but I do like to do the Sprint Spartan or the Warrior Dash, stuff like that, where it has obstacles along and not just all straight running. But I
Yeah.
haven't signed up for anything as of late. the last one I did was with my sister-in-law, and then she goes, never again. And so, and the Warrior Dash, when I did that one, I had all these people interested, and then they bailed on me. And I had just done like this Tour de Summerlin bike ride the day before this thing. I
Oh,
literally was 75 miles on the bike. I ate something, and I came home and I grabbed my bag and I drove to Arizona because it was in Phoenix somewhere where this Warrior Dash was. And I stood the night, I stayed the night, and then I just did it by myself. I put on a whole costume with a little grandpapa looking hat they gave you, and I ran the whole obstacle course with his hat on. And then I drove back. I drove back the same day. I had me a big turkey leg, and then I didn't feel like getting hosed down by the water truck thing that they had, so I just jumped in all muddy in my truck and
word.
peed on the side of the road all the way home because I had to pee a lot. Like I probably
Mm,
stopped like 5 times. Finally made it
mhm,
home, and I just made a beeline to the shower, and that was that. But that was the last. I think the Spartan was probably the last thing I did. It was a lot of fun, but I like to do it with a friend or two. I think it's more fun when you do it as a group.
mhm.
But a lot of
Oh,
people they don't want to do it. They bail out like last minute.
yeah, yeah. I totally get what you're saying because like even for me, I used to do like kickboxing tournaments or even like the stuff that's like more demanding, right? Then
Uh,
yeah, it's like you'll find people flake out quick.
yeah, I mean, and I don't. If I tell someone I'm going to do something, like my sister-in-law, she did this fitness competition because she was turning 50. So I said, I'll do it with you for
Mhm.
fun. And then I didn't bail. I went all the way with. And then when we went to Omaha, I was just going to go. When she told me she was going to go to this Omaha competition. And then I go, oh, I'll go support you because I would go to her shows to be there in the audience for her. She goes, you should just join. You should just do it. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay. And that was 6 or 7 months before the competition. And I did pretty good. I got third. So, but I mean, if I commit to something and say I'm going to do something, I'll be there all the way through. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So
Have you been able to find any other, maybe even any of the session girls that will do some of these competitions with you, or is it
I
still
don't
pretty
know.
much
I mean,
on
yeah, I
the?
should
Mhm.
just put it out there. I just say, hey, anybody want to do the Sprint Spartan or something? See if anyone wants to do it. I
Yeah,
would
that'd
think
be awesome.
somebody would. Everyone's in such good shape.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, yeah, everyone's great shape, and it's like I think this would also be like opportunity to like take a bunch of like not only selfies but even like shoot videos, like cool videos for your social media and stuff.
Yeah, and then we could even wear like session girls like tank tops or something, you know what I mean, to advertise it. And then if you
Hmm.
could write it off because it would be an advertisement for session girls, you know what I mean, or your business.
That's what I'm saying. But, well, hopefully the other session girls kind of like hear this and then they hook up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
there's
you
so
guys are
many.
listening, yeah, if you guys are listening, contact me. Let's set something up. Let's do this, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, because I've seen all these other people who do like all those like, Spartan races and all that. Like going through the mud and all these things, and it's like, yeah, all the videos look cool. So it's like, there's no way you're not gonna look cool.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's so much fun.
So right now, though, do you have any of that planned, or are you just too busy with like sessions and stuff?
I've got
Again.
so much travel. I mean, I didn't realize how bad my travel was going to be. I saw when I leave for Dallas, I get back to town. I'm home for about 2 days, and then I'm back on the airplane again. So it's going to be kind of crazy up through February, actually. So
Mm,
with a whole bunch of gigs and everything. So, but then I have something later February, and then I have something in April, uh, something in August, two things in August already. So yeah, that's the
mm.
problem. That's why I was trying to tell my trainer, I don't know if March is doable for me for doing a competition. I get
But are you like, so even though you travel? I mean, do you just find like places to work out, or do you work out in your hotel room or anything like that?
Yeah, well, the last place I was at was I was visiting my in-laws, and I was in a really small town in New York. And so what I did before I went out there is I searched to see where there were gyms in this little town, and I found a Planet Fitness that was about 3.5 miles away. So I was like, okay, I could walk that. So what I did was I worked out Monday through Friday at this gym, and the first day I actually walked there and back. So I got a 7 mile walk in. So I got my cardio. I didn't have to worry about that at the gym. And I did a 2 hour workout. And I just kept on my regimen, what I normally would train here with my Mondays through Friday. And it worked out quite nice, actually. And they were so nice. They actually just let me train for free since I wasn't going to be there very long, for the week. So that was really nice of them.
Oh, you charmed them.
It was a lady, even. It wasn't even a guy. I was there
Whoa.
with my little orange, sweaty, with my little orange backpack on, and had my protein drink for out later. I had all that stuff in there, all my gear, and it was kind of cold, so I had my little hoodie thing on, and um, I was able to train. And that was actually a gift because normally I'll train at the hotel. As long as it has free weights, I can do that. They usually have treadmills. If they have a Peloton, that's a bonus. Since I have a Peloton at home, I could just log in and do a
Mhm.
class or do some scenic thing or whatever, get my cardio in. But I'll usually make good use of a hotel gym. I'll be in there for at least an hour working out with weights. You could do so much with free weights, and you have a bench usually. So I most of the time will work out at the hotel.
Okay, well then with that being said, like I think maybe people might be interested in like how you structure your workout because you said you work out 5 days a week, right? Like
Uh
with
huh.
weight.
Yep, I
So
do. Yeah, like particular days. So
mhm,
Mondays and Thursdays are dedicated to legs. Thursday's usually a fine tuning day. Where I concentrate on fine tuning some stuff. But today was like a horrible, like hard. Today was a really hard workout day. I was like, "What? I thought this was fine tuned leg day," to my trainer, but apparently he decided to make it hardcore. So Monday, Thursday, you work different areas of your legs. I try to split it. And then Tuesdays is always shoulder day. Wednesday's always back day. And then Friday is bis and tris. Sometimes I do a bonus Saturday for shoulders. And every once in a while we throw in a chest, but I don't really need it for I get a lot of the chest workout through all the other stuff that I do. So he doesn't really have us doing our chest much because it's not that important for doing the figure competition. So, um, but that's my structure, what I usually do, and then I do abs every day that I do weight training, because I was talking to the Olympian Sydney. She does abs on all her weight training days, and because I took a fitness retreat from her, and I thought that
mhm,
was interesting. So I've been doing that, and I'm at changed to this other gym called the Lift Factory, and it's no joke. It's like the freaking big boys go there, and it's got murals on the wall of Olympians, and it's very motivational. And all the equipment doesn't match. It's from different things here and there, and I love it because there's stuff I've never even seen before that are very old school, and it's hard. Like you'll see a 20-pound weight, and it's much heavier than a regular 20-pound weight at the other gym. I'm
mm,
like, I don't know why, but it just is. So ever since I've been there, which has been probably 3 weeks now, I feel like I've made huge
mm,
progress. And they have the hanging, they have the straps on there, so you could do your hanging leg raises. So I've added that into my abs, and I do the rolling
wow,
wheel with that, and I do the rope pull downs, and then I'll do this thing where I roll this little rounded roller thing, and I put the small of my back on it, and I do these kind of things like this, and
uh-huh.
that really works. I've noticed my abs are really starting to develop more, so it's pretty exciting because I try to do 100 reps per ab workout.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say that. So then now that you're doing abs every day, it's like do you like like each day is it a different like way of hitting the abs?
Yeah, I mean, I mix it up. I won't. Sometimes I'll do the same thing, or maybe I'll just do the 3 exercises, or I'll mix up the order I do it in, or incorporate. Like when I go to a hotel gym, obviously I can't do that same kind of workout. So I have other things I could do that work the lower abs that you could do off the bench, and sometimes I'll add a weight between my legs. Sometimes, I just mix it up. And then I also have the Peloton app has some good ab classes in there that are actually, I was surprised they actually are pretty good classes they have for
Hmm.
that. So if I want to mix it up, I might pull one of those classes up and do one of those or two of them, do like a 20-minute class or something, you know.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be on the bike. It's like they have classes for like
Oh,
you can just
yeah.
do it at home. Oh,
Yeah. And
that's
I
cool.
have the app on my phone or I could do it off my iPad. It's really great. Um, just if I'm looking for something different to do. And then I also have this elite trainer thing that my trainer gave me, puts workouts on there for me for the different
Hmm.
parts. So I'll just do one of those routines. I just look, it makes it easy. I just look at it and go, okay, this is what he's got. And then if I don't have that kind of machine or something, I'll just make up something else. Work it, you know, work that part with something else, get creative. I've been doing it long enough. I could figure out like what I want to do. And like at the Planet Fitness, I was just hog wild. I was doing a lot because I was like, oh, there's a lot of, oh, this is neat. I'll do this one too. I'll just add this one in. And then so I was doing way more exercises than I normally would do in a day here. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Like an hour and a half worth of weight training.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, 'cause usually then they try to say like for Planet Fitness is like for it's not for like the hardcore guys or whatever, but
No, there's like a lot of old people there, but there's no judgment. You know, it's a no
mm,
judgment zone is how they like advertise it. And but I was like one of the more buff people in there, I think. But
yeah,
there was a
but
couple
even
guys that looked buff in there, but you know, I definitely look buff compared to a lot of the other people in there.
yeah, you didn't intimidate them. Well, that's why they let you train for free, right? Because
Oh
like
yeah,
you,
I scared
you log
them.
in
I just went like this. You see this? Um, you know, I'm hungry right now. I'm about to Hulk out. I'm gonna break your equipment, or else you better let me in. You know, no, yeah, it's fun. Like when I get to try a new gym or whatever, it's kind of like Disneyland or whatever for me. It's like, oh, okay, you know, I get to look at some new equipment or see what they got going on in there. It's kind of fun, different, you know, different scenario scenes, you know.
Well, actually, then I have a personal question or like a personal thing for me. So say like if I travel and I don't know if you spend too much time doing like the lat pull down, but
Oh yeah,
so then if you travel and like say if you're in a hotel or you're in a space that doesn't have any kind of lat pull down and you don't necessarily have, or do you like how would you do it in a like in your hotel room or like do you carry rubber bands or with you or
I actually did when I went to Burning Man. I had
mm,
bands. I had my rolling nav wheel with me. You know, I brought those with me, and you know, and I made it work. You could do, but like for lats, if you, as long as you have a kind of a bench, you can do there's different things you can do. Like I'll do a 3-part series, a 10-10-10, where I start with a heavier one on the lower part, then do a full one like this. And
mhm,
then you could change the angle of how your arms are coming up this way or to work it a little bit differently on the back. I'll do
mm,
stuff like that. And then the upper part, you know, where you're concentrating on your back, or you could do it even for shoulders where you're coming forward like this. There's so many things you could do. But the bands are definitely, that's an easy thing to travel with that I'll put in there. I even put my own food in there sometimes. I got like these overnight soak oats that are come in little containers that you just add water. And
yeah.
I'll let it soak in the water. And then usually there's always a microwave, whether it's in your room or downstairs. There's always a microwave. And then I bring like dried blueberries and almonds, toss it in there. But usually when they comp the breakfasts, there's always oatmeal. Seems
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's always
definitely.
oatmeal, and that's kind of my go-to for my morning. I can eat it every day, or I
Hmm.
can eat eggs. You know,
Can you eat oats like plain, or do you have to add
I
flavor?
can eat them. Actually, I like oats plain, but I'm weird that way.
So that makes it easier for you, right? Then, because like a lot of people they just get sick of oats because you hear it from everyone, like, oh, oats are so healthy and you should probably have them for breakfast. And then if you try it, or some people have tried and then they just get sick of them real quick.
Well, you know, when I did the competition for when I went to Omaha, my nutritionist I hired, I ate the same thing for like 5 months, the same exact things every day, same order. Like they had it all eat the same little whatever meals you had planned for that day every single day. Same thing. But I'm like that. I can eat the same. Like I've ate rice, and rice is actually good for you. But I grew up eating rice every day because I'm, Japanese, part Japanese. So that was like a staple. So
Mm.
I'm kind of used to eating the same thing. In fact, when I grocery shop, I grocery shop for the same exact things like egg whites, blueberries,
Mm.
rice, chicken, turkey. I mean, I get fish, codfish. I mean, I'll get the same stuff all the time. Broccoli, asparagus,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I just
All right.
like made a whole bunch of Brussels sprouts. So I have a bunch of that in the refrigerator right now.
Well, so then when you travel though, is like do you like how many suitcases do you take with you?
It depends on how many days and what's involved. Like if it's just sessions, then I don't have to worry. It's just a bunch of bikinis or a boxing glove or sometimes a workout outfit or whatever. But when I have shoots, which for the case of like Chicago, since I'm going to be going to Chicago and I'm so booked over there and I've got photo shoots and sessions and I have a football game I'm going to watch my Packers play the Bears, and it's outside stadium, so that means I have to wear all my layers. So we're talking about like my snowmobile pants and a bunch of layers to put underneath and my big jacket. So I'll probably bring two big suitcases for that trip. And then I always have a backpack as well for my iPad and for my
Mm.
carry-on. So it's just easy. I can have my hands free to bring the suitcases. There's a So the backpack is on, and then I have my little over carry type fanny pack thing, and then
Mhm.
I have the two suitcases. And that's my jam when I travel. That way it's easy for me.
Well, speaking of people, those of us who remember when fanny packs were like popular the first time, right? Did you think it's kind of interesting that like they're back now, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, I never got rid of my fanny pack. That's the funny thing. I've
oh,
had
that's
it the whole
awesome.
time. So I've been wearing my fanny pack, and then when I saw it's kind of coming back, and I'm like, oh, and now they have the fancy ones that go over your shoulder, like across like this. So of course
Yeah.
I bought one of those. So I got two kinds of those, a bigger version of it and then a little smaller one. And then I still got my Panda Bear fanny pack that goes around my waist that I've had forever. I mean, I've
Wow.
never let it go. In fact, all my clothes are coming back in style from back in the 80s. I didn't get rid of it. So it's still in my closet. So I'm like, oh, cool, I can wear this again.
Yeah, and actually, I remember when I was a kid, this was kind of weird. Like my mom, like at the store next door to where she worked, it was just like a convenience store, but they always had like these Wolf T-shirts. And like it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's like ironically like trendy right now to have all like for all like maybe the hipsters or whatever. I'm like that's what I was wearing when I was a kid, right? Like, like I hope I still have some because and that'd be like really cool, like in that like with the kids, right? It's so
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So interesting how it's like things that were like well we think is old, but then they just come right back and then like they're so popular.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny. I mean, I don't go shopping, so I've got stuff that'll have holes in them, even like my underwear. Finally, someone shamed me because they noticed I had some hole in my underwear and a whole bunch of them. And when I used to have a period, those were my period underwear. Well, I've been in menopause for like the last 7.5 years, so I no more period. So I don't really need the holy underwear. So
Mm.
someone called me out on it. And I'm like, oh, I guess I could throw it away and buy, because I don't shop for myself. So then I had to go buy underwear. I had to go buy some new underwear. This is
Mm.
horrible. I'm
Well,
a,
but it's actually pretty cool because like yeah, I think you're kind of like a testament to like even nowadays there's some like minimalist movements or like people where they actually want to use it until or find things that will last and
yeah,
the
I wear it out. Like even my sneakers, my trainer gives me such a hard time because I had these sneakers since the pandemic thing when we were out in the park working out, and I still
Mhm.
have them. I only wear
Mm.
like trainers and a lot of other people. They have different sneakers for different outfits and everything. I had the same thing. It didn't have to match. Like I don't necessarily match when I go to the gym. It's just whatever I put on. And
Yeah.
then the tread is worn out on the ones that I have right now. And he's like, "It's time for you." And it looks worn down. Like there's some holes in it now. So these other sneakers, he goes, "You need to buy some new sneakers." Like, Tomiko, you're not poor. You have money. Why are you walking around with these worn down, shoes? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I just don't have time to go shopping.
Mm,
I
that's
like to
true.
try things on. I don't like to just shop online and just hope it's going to look okay. Sometimes I get lucky, but I like to go in and actually try something on to make sure it fits my feet properly and,
Mhm,
and it looks okay on like the clothes.
mhm. Yeah, so true. It's like a big difference from like the picture to real life.
Oh, I know, because they have a tall, like, thin model, not someone that has some meat on them, and so then I'll put it on and go, "Man, I look hideous in this outfit."
Yeah, you
Then
look
it
like
goes in the
yeah,
closet.
yeah. It's like you look like a sausage like packed in there, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like, I'm not big like that, but I mean, it just definitely isn't my style for my body type. I kinda know
Mm.
what works for me now, so it's like, okay, I could kinda eyeball it a little bit and go, "Okay, that's probably gonna look okay on me if I get this dress." Dresses are usually easier. Pants are a different story. I have to shop. I
Mm.
have to go in to try pants on.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you have muscle, so it's like the pants aren't they're like jeans and stuff. It's like you have to get the right ones.
They gotta have a little stretch to them. There's a
Hmm.
there's a place I go to called Barbell. It's for people that have muscular legs, and you go in
Mm.
and there's a little give to them. They stretch a little bit, and they fit you even around your waist, which is really great. So I went in there and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this pants actually fit me all the way around. That's great." So that's kind of where I go now.
Okay, but they don't have like those. Remember, like the older men bodybuilder, almost like really colorful.
Oh, the
I got
parachute pants, oh, those
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
like the
MC
clown.
Hammer ones.
Yeah, yeah. So they don't have they probably still have them there, right? But you don't get those.
No, 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 no. I want something that's gonna. I don't want to hide because I have bulky looking legs. I don't want it to seem like I'm like heavy underneath the pants. So I got to show that it's muscle and not flab or something underneath there. So
Yeah. All right. All right. So I think I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So is there a way for people to actually, what is your name on Session Girls website?
it's Tomiko one, and this is the funny thing too, because everyone's like, "Why do you have Tomiko one in your email?" It's because somebody had Tomiko.com, so I had to do Tomiko1.com. So that's why my email is Tomiko at Tomiko1.com. So I just figured I'd stay with the theme.
Mm,
Tomiko one, because I'm number one. I'm the
mm,
Tomiko.
mm.
So yeah, if you go Tomiko one on Session Girls, based out of Las Vegas, I've got a really awesome picture that was 3 days after my Omaha competition with this really talented photographer and makeup and hair person. So it's a showstopper. You can't, you see it, it's the main picture, bam, you're there. It gets you in. And then
Awesome.
post a bunch of fun stuff in there, like my stuff from Spartan races is some of the pictures on there. I like to make it fun and interesting when people look through the portfolio pictures to just give them a taste of what the personality's like, what I like to do. And, pictures are 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, totally.
Rather than taking a picture of myself in the bathroom.
Mm. Yeah, the bathroom selfie, but yeah, you look great in bathroom selfies too, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, in the mirror with
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put some amateurish pictures too in there as well, but I have some professional ones in there, and then I have some that are like just fun pictures, and even some that are at the session where I make sure the person's face is not showing, kind of thing, or I've got their permission, but just to show me actually doing a session, that I'm
Mhm.
not just like, a model that doesn't know how to do sessions or whatever. So there's a little mix of everything on there. So if they want to go by and see my profile, it's Las Vegas based Tomiko one, Tomiko 1, and you'll be entertained by all the pictures. There's at least 25.
Fantastic. Yeah. And and even from me, I definitely want to recommend you because like I know we've known each other for years and like yeah, it like your personality is like the same in real life. It's great. So,
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I promise if you get a session from me, if you guys are watching, I hopefully you'll have a great time. I mean, I've never had anybody complain. It's usually fun. It's a riot, so take a chance.
yeah, awesome. All right, well, thank you for your time, Tomiko, and hopefully we get to see each other in real life one day
Yeah,
again.
well, I'll reach out to you if I'm coming out to LA or something, let you know. Maybe we could
Yeah,
catch up when I go out your way. I don't know
sure.
when that's going to be, but we'll play it by ear. Or if you're coming to
Okay.
Vegas, let me know.
Okay, we'll do. Yeah, that might happen because there's a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments in Vegas. So I'll probably go out there sometime soon too. I'll let
Okay,
you know.
cool. All right.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.